And welcome back to Fresno, California, 2012 WPH Race for 8 here in Central California. It's Armando Ortiz versus Luis Moreno. Ortiz representing the Salt Lake City Aces and Luis Moreno representing the Idaho Spuds, Jake Plummer's team.
0 serve 0.
My very good friend and the worst referee in the world, Dan Armijo, in the hot seat.
In the world.
That's what I said. That's a beautiful two-wall shot from
Point.
Armando. It looked like Luis had a beat on it.
1-0.
I almost think it's an advantage to be the person returning serve in rally scoring. The server gets in there. He has to do a lot of work to get that point.
2-0.
The guy returning the serve just gets the side out and he gets a point. And we're seeing like it's maybe just more equal, so to speak.
I'm not sure I agree with you there, Dave, but I think I can see your point. Obviously, if a server gets on a roll, though, like favors him.
Like Naughty did.
Like Naughty always has every time we've ever played. That match was a rerun of 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 months ago. Doesn't really matter.
1992, 1994.
Insert year here. That was the score and the match.
2-3.
He's an elite player, Dave. I would not be so frustrated with that.
I just wish I could give him a little bit of a game and a workout.
Armando Ortiz now scoring his 4th point. This is the men's quarterfinal match here
4-2.
at the Race for 8, brought to you by Simple Green.
Short.
I'll tell you, Dave, Armando is a very competitive young man, and he has been looking forward to this matchup for a long time.
Side out.
Luis Moreno just rolled that ball out in the corner.
3-4.
I know, Dave, in your handball career that spanned a number of state championships and other accolades, you had some rivals and nemesis along the way. This is Armando Ortiz's rival slash nemesis.
Look at that shot from Armando Ortiz.
Luis Moreno does not look great
5-3.
thus far. He doesn't seem to have that energy that's propelled him to 2 Pro Stop wins this year, Dave. We saw him so light on his feet, almost like he was floating on top of the court.
Are you predicting an upset?
I'm not in the prediction business.
Nor the return of serve business.
I'm out of the return of serve business. I went bankrupt.
Close for the winner. Close forever.
I filed Chapter 11 on the return of serve business.
There's other things that you do good, though.
Really?
You're in business on those other things.
Okay.
8-3.
8 serves 3. Ortiz serving to Luis Moreno.
Short.
That's a short ball. Referee is Dan Armijo.
Appeal.
Mondos should not get this overturned. I saw that short.
1 serve.
Wow. That's right. 1 serve, sorry.
And this is that underrated Armando Ortiz serve setting up these rallies. And a terrible error there from Armando.
4-8.
4 serves 8.
Second serve.
Not a good serve there from Luis at all.
Replay.
Luis backing in there, Dave. You just wonder if these players were more educated and the referees were more educated, would that be called an avoidable?
Well, I wish it would be.
How can you hit a huge setup and back up? Now, clearly the player is not intentionally trying to get hit, but just by virtue of taking those 4 or 5 steps back, it's almost impossible not to be hit.
Out.
It just doesn't make sense to me that why, I mean, I know we all do it, but we serve and the player has a ball coming right to the middle of the court and you back right into a shot and then the referee just says, hey, you know, he couldn't get out of the way. No, he actually got in the way.
Well, it would
That's
be
the
like
whole point.
It would be like facing Justin Verlander and seeing a huge slider come in and running across the plate and letting it hit you in the back. Well, I wasn't sure.
I was trying to get out of the way. I just dove into the plate, got hit by the ball.
Now in baseball, that would be called a strike.
And it is, and it's happened before, but in
10-5.
handball it's never happened. Although we did see earlier Chip Morales
Short.
back into Dave Chapman and got called because Dave looked at the
serve.
referee.
It's all about that look.
It's about the look and the 9 national championships behind the look. And there's another point for Armando Ortiz, now up 11-5.
Armando looks very composed right now.
He also looks like he's dropped about
11-5.
15 pounds since the last time we saw him.
Short.
Armando won Comeback Player of the Year in 2011.
One serve.
Dave, could he win again in 2012? He started the race season so poorly with lopsided losses at the first 2 stops. Lost another first-round matchup in Tucson, so it was 3 first-round losses in a row for Armando. Now here he is, seemingly on the verge of a quarterfinal or excuse me, semifinal or better finish, the way things look right now.
That'll be a lot of ranking points already
Timeout.
for him.
Okay.
Means that Armando Ortiz will automatically be named to Hotlanta. I don't see him dropping any points from this point forward.
That's true. Armando will solidify that number 7 ranking in the power rankings, earning him the automatic invite into Atlanta.
Dave Chapman will face Sean Lenning tomorrow at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. At 11 o'clock in the morning, it'll be Nadia Alvarado and Armando Ortiz.
I believe at 9, the big ball doubles will be webcasted. Not sure if that's true.
True.
I saw that online, and
I think your wife is actually going to do color commentating on that.
she actually is a big ball player. She plays in the women's A.
One
Trying
wall,
to-
big ball? Is that
4
one?
wall, 2 bounce.
Okay,
Okay,
time's
big ball.
in. 12 serves 5.
And I'm talking about the 2 bounce into the sidewall.
Oh, okay.
There's no one under the age, over the age of 40 that understands how that game is played.
13-5.
Wait, the sidewall's the front wall? What? Wait,
Point.
I don't get it. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to explain it here as Armando Ortiz takes a 14-5 lead, completely dominating the action here, Dave. It looks like Armando Ortiz is the guy that's won 2 pro stops already this season, but it's actually the returner, Luis the Natural,
One serve.
Moreno, who does not look natural in there right now. Very rare to see Luis Moreno scooping balls. If you talk to his coach, WPH president, Fred Lewis, he'll say that was
6-14.
the reason Luis Moreno wasn't playing well over the last couple of seasons,
No.
is because he was trying to be too cute, trying to hit those off-speed
One serve.
paddle shots when he should have been driving the ball.
I agree with you.
So you agree
Or
with-
Fred.
Okay.
I mean, sorry. I agree with you saying it about Fred.
Okay.
It seemed like he lifted his game up and got into some more of this
7-14.
kind of play around sort of game. And then for the first
Point.
3 race stops, we saw the old Luis Moreno. But
8-14.
but he's young still, so that's the old young Luis Moreno, if you know what I mean.
I do. But you know, Dave, living in Tucson, being a big
One
part of that
serve.
handball community as you are, you don't see Luis Moreno, and that can catch up to you. He can get away with not playing and still have a couple of good tournaments, but I don't know if he can maintain and sustain that level without practicing nearly every day, as you see
15-8.
Sean Lenning doing, as I'm sure Armando Ortiz is doing.
Sean Lenning's doing something interesting. He's
16-8.
playing 2-on-1s, going in there barefoot, flip-flops. He's challenging people and trying to create ways of getting exciting games through sand bets and strange matchups. He'll put 3 of the junior kids on the court at the same time.
9-16.
He also plays singles against Abraham Montijo. It certainly helped
Point.
Sean's game, but not Abe's with recent results. And Luis Moreno is just sort of an enigma. We don't know what Luis is doing in
10-16.
Tucson. We know that he plays down at the YMCA, but he's had a tremendous race season so far. Now he's starting to peck away at Armando Ortiz here at 11-16.
Unfortunately, because of Facebook, Twitter, email, text messages, we know what you're doing at all times, 24 hours a day.
Peel.
Well, I like to tag you. I thought that ball was good, by the way.
Good. One agrees, one disagrees. You thought the serve was good or short?
Just to recap here, Dave, it was Dave Chapman defeating
serve,
Chip Morales in the
11-16.
tiebreaker 25 to, I'm asking here, that was my way of,
26-24 in the second game,
Right.
and then 25-21, I believe, in the
Okay.
tiebreaker. It was close.
didn't have a chance to watch the last couple of points.
Hold it. Replay.
Now it seems that Luis has kind of worked off that first
11-16.
part of the match jitters.
I just didn't think Luis was playing well, and that's not a good shot. A huge setup for Luis Moreno, and he just scoops the ball 15 feet high on the front wall and leaves Armando with a huge setup.
17-11.
I believe that was the critical mistake there
One
for
serve.
Luis Moreno. That would have made the score 12-16. Now it's Armando with a dominating 6-point lead.
Hold it.
Ooh.
Replay it.
Armando made a mishit there and then ends up getting a screen out of it.
Now, Dave, you know in squash, if you hit the ball right back at yourself, it is
17-11.
a loss of the point. It's called a let. I believe, I could be wrong, but I know there is a rule in squash that if you hit the ball back at yourself, you've lost the point if your opponent doesn't have a play on it.
That's interesting. That's why Dave Chapman doesn't play
18-11.
squash. 18 serves 11. Armando Ortiz has a great serve down the right. Just gave it to Luis there. See the pressure that Armando is putting on Luis here? Wow. Unbelievable setup right there from Luis Moreno, who just stood flat-footed and just waited for that ball to come. He's calling timeout here. Let's look at a replay right here from Moreno as he goes to that left corner. Watch how smooth this is. Terrible shot there.
Well, he pushed him back with some hop, and he set this up and finds that bottom board. Don't forget, Dave, even when Luis Moreno hits shots that don't seem like they're that effective, they are hopping and they've got a lot of power. So it's a little bit more effective than it may appear here in the comfort of the booth.
Yeah, I thought the booth was pretty comforting. You are watching the Race for 8, Fresno, California. We've been here all day long. It's been a very long day. Started off at 4:30 in the morning when News Channel 26 came in, the Fox affiliate, with Clayton Clark, the sportscaster, who not only was down here at 4:30 in the morning, but he got on the court in his gym clothes and played handball for 4 straight hours holding onto the microphone. He didn't do those traditional stand-up interview the player. He actually got in there and played and did the interview while he was playing and hitting the ball in the rallies. It was a very interesting approach to doing an interview. I've never seen anything like it, but they say the coverage area in Fresno is well over 1 million people were able to tune in and watch that this morning. He did multiple breaks, 4 breaks an hour for 4 straight hours. A lot of coverage, and a lot of those people, they told me at the front desk, have actually come in to watch handball for the first time in their lives. Now the club here, Center Point Athletic Club, has given out waived the initiation fee. So it's a huge savings to correlate with what went on with the TV station this morning, which was really nice. But we got down here, I pulled in right ahead of the news van, so I was here when they unlocked the doors, and it's really just been a long day of talking, doing interviews, and promoting handball.
Is it a rule that every sports news reporter has to look completely goofy on the court with clothes that don't fit them and gloves that don't fit, and
Scores 15-18.
can't run and swing at the same time? Always with a huge smile, though. That's the
15-18.
critical component.
He left the court with an ice bag on his hand, which I thought which I thought was
30
funny.
seconds.
15-18, Luis Moreno now making his charge back against Armando Ortiz.
Unfortunately, Dave, it doesn't seem like we have the court sounds in there right
You
now.
guys ready?
We really can't hear
Okay.
just how hard that ball is
15,
being hit.
18.
Well, I can hear it, but it's just not turned up in our headset.
Nice rally here.
Luis Moreno does not want to lose this, but it looks like he's going to. No, it isn't. Mondo just dipped that ball into the corner. Luis scores another point. Now it's 16-18. Now this was tightening up.
And that can happen, Dave, when you're playing against a guy that you've never beat.
18.
He had a lot of time to think about that really easy
Short.
setup, and he just completely flubbed it. Inexplicable
One
error
serve.
there for Mondo, and a huge difference, obviously, on the scoreboard because of it.
Mondo Ortiz misses another shot right there. How does he miss that ball from 8 feet to the front wall?
Now, we're not in the what-if game here, Dave, but it should be 21-16 Mondo, but he's missed 2 of the easiest shots you could ever hope for in the game. And now Mondo drives a pass by Luis Moreno, and he's back in the driver's seat.
Now with a little bit of momentum, now at 19-17, first to 25,
19-17.
or win by 2 after 25, wins the first game. This is rally scoring. New format in the Pro Tour, and the pro players seemingly like it. I haven't pulled you yet because I have to wait until you cool down from your loss against Noddy. But Dave Chapman said that he liked it, and that's very rare.
20-17.
We heard all the other players say they like it too. I know the fans are experiencing some close games. And I'm not sure if that's just rally or just us talking about it, but certainly it's seemed a little bit more
21-17.
exciting. 21-17, Mondo serving first game.
Armando's bounced back from those 2 errors and has made some
Hold
really...
it.
Oh,
Play it over.
I don't know if I'd call that over. He has Luis
Screen
Moreno
ball.
in front of him. I don't know why. You know, Dan Armijo, referee, God bless him. He's been around playing pro handball for 30 years. But let's look at the end of this play right here. You have
21-17.
Luis Moreno standing right in front of you, out of position with a whole lane open,
Point.
and the referee calls that over. I mean, these are the complaints
Well,
that the
just-
players have had for multiple years now.
Just because you're a good person doesn't make you a good
22-17.
referee. And that's what people don't seem to understand. They take
Hold it.
offense to it.
One
Some
fault.
people are good referees and some aren't.
Second serve.
I just feel sometimes that you're penalizing the guy that's in the driver's seat.
Not a good shot from Luis at all.
That was a bad shot from Mondo. Very
You
sloppy
see-
play here.
Luis going with that scoop again, right back to Armando. And
This is some of the worst handball I've seen in a long time.
did you watch the last match?
That was the worst I
Okay.
saw. Mondo had 5 opportunities there. Luis had 5 opportunities there.
18-22.
Luis gets the point, 18-22.
Good power there from Luis. Hits the high-risk 2-wall shot right into Armando's kitchen. Armando loses that in the side wall, and also that's
19-22.
hard to handle even without that blinding side wall.
Another crazy serve that Mondo can't get back from that blinding wall.
And I'll tell you, Dave, it's just as difficult for the server when they serve into that side wall because you lose the ball
20-22.
into that side wall.
The score here is 20-22. It's getting really tense in the court, and another point for
Timeout.
Luis Moreno,
minute.
and Mondo takes a
You have
smart
1
timeout.
I agree with you.
Luis decided that instead of going to that hop serve, he's just going to hit the ball into the glass as hard as he can. It's really dark, Dave. Tell those that are at home how dark that
Luis,
glass is.
I find it nearly
Right
impossible
there.
to see on that left side glass. So yes, very difficult. And I believe that Luis should have been serving that hard 2-wall serve into the left wall throughout this entire first
Back over that
game.
way.
Maybe
Bunch
he'll
of
pick
drop.
up on it, but I certainly
There you
believe that this first game is more important for Armando than it is for Luis, because if Armando fails to capitalize on this first game, a game in which he had nice leads throughout, it's going to be very difficult for him to regroup. Now, on the contrary, if should Luis Moreno lose this first game, I would very much expect to see a tiebreaker.
20 seconds.
It just goes to show you, Dave, the importance of teaching the junior players, because these guys were in the junior national final not long ago. Here they are two of the top 7 pros in the world.
Now, you said it was a rivalry. Do you have their history?
22.
Well, Armando has never beat Luis, so I called Luis his nemesis.
Okay, it wasn't a rivalry.
He's his rival, but mostly his nemesis.
Luis goes for the bottom board.
And Luis shovels that. Very nice shot. Armando tracks it down, though. And here's a big setup.
Armando has Luis pinned, and he gets that point and the side out.
Don't forget, it was Armando getting to 21 first. And Luis went to that paddle
21.
shot, which has been completely ineffective here. And that time Luis drills it. And now it's our Luis Moreno overhitting the pass shots, and Armando takes advantage with the revolving
Off
door.
match, game point,
left
24
corner
says
kill.
21.
This could do it.
Hold it, straight. Hold it up.
Luis is lucky there. That ball was a huge natural hook.
Now in squash shape, Armando would have actually lost the point there.
24, 21.
Here it is, game point. And this could be it. Luis is able to track it down. Big setup for Mondo, who go for the bottom board, and he hits
Replay.
Luis Moreno, and it's a replay.
Check it.
Great gets there from both guys.
24, 21.
A little bit of contact
Game
there.
one,
and
Armando
it's game
Ortiz.
1 to Armando Ortiz, Dave. Not a shock,
3 minutes, not
but
5,
certainly
3.
it's Luis Moreno in trouble here in just his first match in prime time here at race stop number 4 in Fresno.
We are going to take a quick break in the booth. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick around here at racefor8.com. More action on the way.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning it. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
right, ready to start second game. 0, serve 0.
And we are back live for game number 2 after Armando Ortiz took down Luis Moreno in the first game. 25-22, I believe the score was. And there's a point. Moreno does not look focused here. Nadi Alvarado will be playing
1-0.
the winner of this one.
Point.
Make it 2-0.
2-0.
Luis played a sloppy first point.
Short.
It was Armando with
1
2
serve.
really good shots there in the second point. Luis Moreno, Dave, just does not have that positive body language right now. This is not the Luis Moreno that we saw dominate in Idaho, nor is it the same Luis Moreno that we saw dominating in Tucson.
1-2.
Now we say dominate, but remember it was Luis Moreno defeating Sean Lenning 11-9 in the tiebreaker in Idaho in the semifinals. Luis was trailing 9-6 there in the tiebreaker when Sean Lenning double faulted. Luis Moreno came in and ran out 5 consecutive points.
Point. Four, 1.
Score here is now 4-1. Mondo just powering that ball past Luis Moreno.
Five, 1.
Now at 5-1. See that ball pop up in that corner? It's strange because below about the 18-inch mark, the ball has a different bounce, and above that, it has even a more solid bounce.
Armando is no stranger to going deep into these pro events. Less than a year ago, Dave, at the Tucson HBC2, he upset Alan Garner in advance of the semifinals as a qualifier, where he eventually lost to Nadi Alvarado. And should he win here today, Dave, he'll face Nadi Alvarado again, a guy that he's never beat. And Luis with a pretty lucky shot there. Just trying to get that ball back, Dave, and it finds the bottom board 2 inches high.
Luis Moreno had the right angle there. Now at 4-6.
That was a great point from both guys. Armando punches that very good serve to the ceiling, and Luis takes care of it from 38 feet.
Point.
I thought that was short. Luis tries to sell it with a fist pump. No call from the referee. 5-6.
And now Luis really in his groove.
That must have been a huge reverse, or excuse me, natural or something that bounced weird there.
Well,
Mondo looked terrible trying to return that.
We can take a replay of that, but I thought that pinched the corner, and Armando just totally misjudged it.
Point.
See, that's a reverse from Nadi, who's breaking that ball away from Mondo, who's going to have to call a timeout here.
That's actually Luis Moreno serving, not Nadi Alvarado.
7-6.
Well,
It's
all about the same thing.
Point.
And now it's Luis really finding his serve.
Timeout. 1 minute. Score is 8-6.
8-6. Luis Moreno now changing the whole complexity of this match. Looked like he was down in the ropes, and all of a sudden he just flipped the switch, Dave.
Armando, there's some drops right there.
Referee concerned about the player's safety, except for when the ball's actually in play.
30 seconds.
Fortunately for us, Dave, we did not take the vow to not talk about the referees this tournament. We have free will to banter, complain, ridicule.
We call it a free will Friday. Saturday we tighten up a little bit.
Okay. Terrible serve there from Luis, and Armando does what he needs to do.
I want to congratulate the referee for letting them play through that.
7-8.
7 serves 8.
That's a very difficult ball to fly kill, particularly off that blinding left side wall. That's a difficult shot, Dave, even with a solid left side wall, because the ball is dipping
9-7.
off the side wall. You want to try and fly kill a ball that's hanging on the side wall.
10-7.
Luis throws a big hook in the rally. That was Jimmy Jacobs-esque. Dave Vincent.
11-7.
Of course, Jacobs threw hooks both ways in the rally on every shot with both hands.
$12-7.
Luis now starting to overpower Armando. It was Armando overpowering Luis in game number 1. Luis going to his junk time paddleball game
13-7.
in game number 1. I believe it cost him that first game. And now Luis starting to apply the pressure with his power. And you see a great pass there. Armando tracks it down. These guys both looking really good right now, Dave.
Point.
Armando, just of course, as I say, how good these guys are looking.
14-7.
Puts that shot in the floor.
You have to remember that Mondo was up 6-2
No.
here.
One serve.
And now he's trailing 7-14.
That's a good point.
I was actually writing his name into the bracket. Beginning, I was on the bottom half of the O.
Well, fortunately
Point.
for you, you just write and type it in. I actually engrave.
Oh, no, I know you do, and that's
15-7.
We,
That's
as
why
you know,
you-
we've had some problems with
you have a later trigger than I do.
premature engraving. It still happened, though.
Second serve.
I'm not a proponent of premature anything, but when you start premature engraving something,
Out.
it becomes very difficult.
8-15.
I mean, that's in metal. That ball dug out from Moreno. Boy, there's a lot of power there.
Play it
Safety
over.
holdup from Mondo Ortiz, serving now at 8-15.
That was Luis's sidearm right
8-15.
fist that he likes to drive down that left wall.
He certainly hit that thing hard, too.
It's interesting, Dave, you talked about going to one serve because the ball is just so fast. Naughty Jr., who's the best
16-8.
server in the game, also believes the ball is too fast. I'm not sure he'd vote for your one serve rule, but
Well, he doesn't have to,
okay.
because when you sign the paychecks, you make the rules.
Thought Fred Lewis signed those paychecks.
Well, I know how to forge his name. And have.
9.
So when you forge the paychecks, you make the rules.
That's my new motto. That's Sapo right there from Luis Moreno, now getting that side out and a free point put up on the scoreboard, 17-9.
I don't know how a free point
17-9.
is any different than a point.
Well,
It's a little bit redundant.
but it's a freebie. That's what I'm going to call it. You call it whatever you want.
Nice reactions there from Luis, and wins the point with those quick hands.
Made Mondo run about 76 feet.
Armando, it's wet right there again. To your left, yeah, there you go, right there.
We've lost our audience, so our jokes will probably completely disappear.
Those
We
were
perform
jokes?
better.
Those were jokes?
We're what you call show ponies. Hard to do stand up to an empty arena.
9. Ten, 18. Point.
Beautiful serve from Mondo. Mondo not
11,
out of this game,
18.
but Luis Moreno certainly in control. And there's that bad bounce, and we've actually seen, Dave, I believe, more bad bounces on this court than we've ever seen in any WPH Pro Stop in which we've played no bad bounces. A lot of that stemming from that sidewall, which has a lot of quirkiness to it.
19, 11. Or no, 20, I'm sorry. 20, 11.
It's those metal bars that come down on that side wall that cause a lot of squirrely bounces.
Well, when we first showed up at this court, they had a strap that is put on that doorknob, and that was in play. It was a kind of like a military-style strap that if the ball hit it, it would just completely die. You didn't see it because we took it off before the tournament started, but it was something that would like maybe cinch a tent.
21,
No, I did
11.
see it. I just didn't understand the military style reference.
Short.
No, it's just the fabric. It was very
Oh.
resilient,
Okay.
made out of the same type
One
of fabric
serve.
that military laundry bags would be made out of, like canvas
Okay.
type strap, Army surplus type strap.
I moved to college with military luggage.
Nice. Did you roll up your clothes to make it a little bit more compact?
Yes, I did.
Don't ask, don't tell.
12, 21.
Some people had 8 weeks of boot camp. I had 4 years of golfing and tanning.
Twenty-two, 12.
Well, that was basically training for something for your career.
That's true. My training has served me well in my post-college career.
Well, you're
13,
doing
22.
the live broadcast in Central California. 13 to 22.
Over.
Luis Moreno just a couple points away from taking this one to a tiebreaker.
13, 22.
We like to give out awards here at every stop, Dave. Most improved, Mr. Congeniality.
Okay.
Luis Cordova actually winning
13.
Best Broadcaster of the weekend.
Yep.
Added a lot of insight.
Chip Morales won the Horizon Award. That's when in the
14,
horizon the sun
23.
comes up, becomes a bright day.
Short.
You can see things happening in the future.
I thought he would have
Unserved.
won the Sunset Award for pushing it down. We actually have a pretty nice little ceremony at the end of every race stop, handing out those awards.
15, 23.
15 serves 23 here.
Short.
Mondo not going away.
One serve. Possible game point, serves 15. Nope. One serve.
Mondo does have one more match under his belt, and that should have been an
Over.
avoidable hinder there, Dave, I believe. What's Luis Moreno doing behind that restraining line when he's hit a ball right into that corner?
Yeah, I just
24,
don't.
15.
Now, you're taught to not give your opponent the entire court,
Short.
but at some point you have to give him some percentage of the wall.
Hold it.
I agree with you.
It's
It's
wet
something
again
that
right where
has become more
Armando's
annoying
sweating,
when I
right
watch
there.
these things.
Big wet.
Player
bunch of
serves the
drop.
ball, his momentum actually brings him more toward the sidewall, and yet he ends the play 4 feet back, and the opponent hits him directly going forward, and the referee says, well, yeah, he had no place to go.
One serve.
He said, well, he
He didn't
backed
serve
into
the ball
player.
from. He didn't serve the ball from 6 feet from the back wall.
Oh, look,
That's game.
there it is. That is the
3
game. We are
minutes.
going to go to a tiebreaker at 3
25-point
minutes. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick around here at racefor8.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning it. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
One minute. Okay, let's go back to the courts. Or the court. "30 seconds. Okay, time's in. Let's go. Let's go, Armando. Armando to court 1.
And we are back live for game number 3, the tiebreaker between Luis Moreno, current race point leader, and Mondo Ortiz. After Mondo won the first one, Luis takes game number 2, and now we are into a tiebreaker, 1 game to 25. It will be rally scoring.
And this, Dave, is why I had this very match circled on my refrigerator for the last 4 weeks.
One serve.
I anticipated this match exactly 3-game thriller between these two great youngsters. And Armando needs to put that down, and Armando does well to put that back to the ceiling, but Armando with a big opportunity 3 shots ago that would have ended this rally. Terrible shot from Luis. And now Luis scrambling well. Armando's legs looked a little bit tired to me, Dave. And you know you need a lot of leg strength when you're following that hard angled 2-all pass behind you. And that time Armando just looks like he's not getting down enough. And even there, Dave.
Right, I agree with you. He's staying upright. Oh, that one he went down low and he skipped it in.
I feel like there, Dave, he actually bent at the waist rather than bending his knees and sticking his butt out and sitting down. And that's what Armando needs to do. That's what he does so well when he's playing at his best. Luis Moreno, Dave, is one of those guys that can actually be offensive, standing almost straight up, a la Sean Lenning.
1-2.
1 serve 2.
Armando Ortiz more from the Paul Brady school of getting low for every kill shot attempt and driving the ball.
Point.
There's a point for Armando Ortiz now altogether at 2. This is the last pro match of the night. Winner of this one will face Nadi Alvarado tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sean Lenning faces Dave Chapman at 12 p.m. on this live broadcast.
That looked like a double bounce.
I thought I saw it as a double bounce. Doesn't matter. Luis gets the point.
Now, we certainly don't want to blame Armando for that. It's very difficult to call that there, Dave, and I wish that we had line judges, particularly on that glass side wall, because you can see that so clearly when you're sitting on that glass, whether that ball did bounce twice. I hate to make the players responsible for calling that, because truly it is difficult to make that call. And more often than not, players call double bounces when they actually did get the shot. Now, obviously, Dave, it's a gentleman's game, but there's times when you really just don't know, or you think that you got it when you didn't.
4-2.
I agree with you on that, too.
There's going to be a lot to talk about at the old war room on Monday morning. The war room being a cyber war room. It always starts well and ends really, really badly.
It ends after you give your first opinion.
5-2.
Great serve from Luis. Luis's serve, Dave, a little different than Nadi's. Nadi seems to just stay low on a parallel plane with the floor throughout the entire trajectory of the serve, but Luis Moreno's ball actually has a downward trajectory. Nice footwork there from Armando. He backed up and came into that ball with his shoulders coiled, got down low and drove that shot beautifully down the right wall. And a beautiful shot there from Armando. It's what we call taking a picture on the revolving door. Kept his feet moving with the ball.
4-6.
Score is 4-6. I like that shot right there from Mondo. Luis is able to dig it back. Both of these players playing almost the identical style of game.
This is really great handball to watch, Dave. An amazing offensive 2-all pass. Luis catches the crack. Just a perfectly played shot with Armando leaning forward. And both guys, Dave, winded after that 43-shot rally. I actually lost count. Gene Casimoto passing me the note. And an amazing rally. Those were about 41 great shots throughout that rally, Dave. And here's the end of the rally. Luis runs that away from Mondo, goes to the paddle shot, which he hasn't been effective using thus far today. And then just that perfect steady Freddy two-wall pass. That shot now has a name.
The Steady Freddy?
That's right.
"30 seconds."
The SFTWP. If you're at home keeping score. Also, that's the same cell block number that Chip Morales used to have. It's 7-4. Here in the tiebreaker, Luis Moreno trying to get to 25 before Armando Ortiz does, so he can go into the into the semifinals to face Nati Alvarado.
Luis
7-4.
Moreno has had success against Nati Alvarado recently, although never before the Idaho event. And Armando Ortiz has never had success against Nati Alvarado.
Over.
Ball broke.
Ball broke.
We have not seen a lot of that
I
in this
thought we
event.
would, and it's strange because I thought we were going to see a lot of these broken balls, but we just simply have not. This is the 5th broken ball in the tournament. Now, I was watching Robert Bell play in his last tournament. He's a young teenager, and he broke 7 balls in one match, and I've never seen 7 broken in one match.
That was at the Junior Nationals, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
He ended up playing with the red ace ball.
7-4.
Broke 7. We've seen 5 in this tournament so far.
Was that the same ball used at the Junior Nationals that's being used here today?
No, that's
Oh.
a different ball.
Okay. I wasn't
But these
there. I
have
would've-
concrete walls on the front, but I believe they're wood on the back. Maybe you know more. Are they wood on the side and the front, Dave?
I
might be
believe
a
all
difference.
these walls are cement. With the exception of the 16 feet of sidewall, which is glass.
Which is uneven glass.
Blinding uneven glass.
Luis Moreno now serving here at 8-4 as they get ready for a new ball. This will benefit Luis, this new lively ball.
It could, though, benefit Armando. Could he take Luis out of the
8-4.
server's box right here? Not a good shot there
What
from
Luis is
at
doing
all.
that no look.
But he hasn't scored 1 point on those paddle shots, Dave, yet he keeps going back to them.
Well, I like how he held on to that no look for just a couple
9-4.
extra seconds.
Well, when Magic threw the no look,
He never did look.
well, his teammate had a wide open dunk. When Luis goes to the no look, it's just a huge setup.
But it looks good, though.
10-4.
I'm not sure it does.
I liked it.
We're going to go ahead and
Point.
predict Nati Alvarado Jr. into the final tomorrow. The top 2 seeds advancing into the final tomorrow. I'm going to go out on the limb.
11-4.
11 serves 4.
Nati just prepares so well for these events, Dave.
He's 38 years old, Mr. Fink.
But he prepares mentally, but also physically. You hear him not only playing the guys in his backyard, some of the top players in the world, John
5-11.
Robles and Waddy Dog and John Bike, but he also travels an hour and 20 minutes to the LA Athletic Club to take on other challengers, to see different styles of play.
Toddy, Vince, Armando Ortiz, Marco Chavez, Carlos Chavez.
Vic Perez. I'm proud of myself if I
6-11.
drive 10 minutes across town for a game.
That's a commute.
In Pittsburgh it is.
Well, the way you played is indicative of how
I
far
thought
you...
when I got my hand on the ball I did okay. It wasn't that often though.
12-6.
Well, you have to stand to one side of the court and let him force him to hit it to you or serve it to the other side.
That's an interesting approach.
Well, the other approach isn't working for you.
That's true.
The stand in the middle and try to react approach.
Mhm.
I found out the best approach to Luis Moreno's serve is to not play him or Nadi Alvarado. In fact, I just decided not to ever play handball again. I don't have to worry about it not returning well.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that.
Score here is
7-12.
7 serves 12. Mondo Ortiz had intensity in the first game, but not here in the second game or the third game.
Look at that junk time shot from Luis Moreno, just messing around after Armando missing that left-handed retrieve, and Luis hitting a flat
13-7.
rollout with a fist overhand.
Happened to be the best shot of the match, unfortunately.
Looked like it could have been a hinder there. Smart shot from Luis.
Big setup for Mondo.
And a terrible error there from Armando Ortiz. Just cannot afford to make that kind of error in this juncture of the match.
I believe that if Chip Morales were playing Luis Moreno, he would be beating him.
14-7.
The way Chip played this tournament.
Okay.
Mondo's getting up,
No.
big, huge setups and not doing anything with it.
Let's not forget Luis Moreno
serve.
thrashing Dave Chapman in their last encounter, so perhaps. And there's a terrible break for Luis Moreno, but perhaps it's Mondo playing pretty well, but it's Luis Moreno on another level right now. Just saying,
14.
it's just a theory.
Point.
Amazing serve there
The
from Mondo.
appeals. Thought it was good. 9-14.
And the point went to Mondo Ortiz.
Great footwork there from Luis. You see how he hits the ball back down the left and moves immediately back to the center of the court. Does not allow himself to be trapped on that left side wall.
15-9.
And this is what happens, Dave, when you're brimming with confidence. Luis Moreno doesn't think twice about losing that first game and even falling behind in that second game. He's got the belief
10-15.
that he's going to come through in every match, and that's huge, Dave, at this level, or any level, really.
And now Mondo scoring points at will here at 11-15 and cutting that lead down to just 4 points.
11-15.
Actually, you have to score 5 points in a row for that to be considered at will.
Okay,
Luis
sorry.
Moreno, or excuse me, Armando only had 3 points in a row, and now the streak ends with a mental and physical error.
You saw Armando look back with a smile on his face saying, I just
16-11.
swung and missed at a ball right down the middle of the court. Short
He still
ball.
had time to, I thought that was good. He still had time to take it off the back wall.
I saw that ball completely short.
Okay. I don't think we'll have a chance to review it because there won't be an appeal, and I don't want to go. Okay.
I do.
Okay.
12-16.
I thought that was good.
It was completely short by
Huh.
2 inches. I don't know how you see that. And you're wearing your glasses.
Not right
No.
now, I'm not.
Okay, well, you've been fined.
Okay. Great playing from Armando Ortiz. Now he's really stepping up his game here as he's won 5 of the last 6 rallies. I predict, Dave, that we'll see both guys in the 20s in this tiebreaker. That's what the crowd wants to see. That's why they bought all these tickets for the weekend.
That replay brought to you by Tucson Rolling Shutters. You're watching the Simple Green Race for 8, provided by the World Players of Handball. This is the tiebreaker between Luis Moreno, #1 race point leader, and the #3 ranked pro in the power rankings, versus Mondo Ortiz. Moreno loses the first, comes back, wins the second game, and now is up
13-16.
16-13 with Mondo serving.
Hold it.
Oh.
Right over.
Both players bumped center court. They're trading center court shots back and forth to each other.
Sloppy play from
13-16.
Luis there, Dave, in the front court. And that's not the right shot there for Armando Ortiz. That's that fly kill with the ball dipping on the side wall. Almost impossible to make that shot, Dave. That's a 1 in 10 shot, maybe 1 in 15. Certainly not the shot you want to be going for trailing in the tiebreaker.
Armando Ortiz hits that ball right between Luis Moreno's legs
14,
for a flat rollout.
17.
14-17, just 3 points
Short,
within.
short.
That serve
Nadia
might have been
Alvarado.
good.
It
I
feels-
thought it was good.
You thought it was good? You thought it was short?
Now, could the
one
referee-
agrees, one disagrees.
I thought the referee
One
could
serve.
actually overturn his call here and give him a point because that was also an ace. That's close.
There's a setup for Luis.
Hold it. Replay.
Luis has to be frustrated with himself there. Great opportunity.
Now,
Wasted.
In squash, that would have been called a
Point let.
14,
point
17.
let.
Let point. Excuse
Okay.
me.
So it's an avoidable hinder there in squash. That double bounce, that's a
Point.
point for Mondo now at
You want to
15-17.
kill the serve?
There's going to be a appeal here.
Dave, could this be another tragedy for Armando Ortiz against Luis
point
Moreno? You know that he's
Armando.
lost to Luis 11-10 before.
Ooh,
I called it a point.
You hope for Armando's sake that
15-17.
Mondo just got a point on a ball that was 3 inches short.
I agree with you on that.
Unbelievable. But go ahead and say what were you saying there, Dave?
Short.
I hope Armando either wins or doesn't lose
One
26-24.
serve.
If he loses, I want it to be about 25-18. Not quite as heartbreaking because it's hard to lose so many heartbreakers to the same guy. And Luis Moreno has a tendency to do that. He seems to win all the close matches, Dave, except for that U.S. Open clash against Charlie Shanks where he did lose 11-9 in the tiebreaker.
Well, we're now getting to the point here because of rally scoring that every single side out, Moreno gets closer to that 25 points. That means that Mondo is going to have to get side outs and bring with it a couple more points in order to defeat Luis Moreno.
18.
Gets to about this
15.
18-point mark. Every single side out also is a free point for Moreno.
Well, Mondo needs to win 10 of the next 17 rallies to avoid being eliminated here. Now, I say eliminated, I mean eliminated from the main top 12 draw, but all these players do go into 9 through 12 and 5 through 8 playoffs, but that's not
15.
really on Armando's mind right now. Incidentally, he would be playing me should he go ahead and lose this match.
Again.
We have a standing date every tournament. We find our way on the court together.
Wow. That thing was hit like a bullet on a rope. Let's look at the replay of that one.
I'm not sure that I want to, Dave, at this
16,
juncture. but
19.
I don't know what difference it makes. It's 16-19. He's still 9 points away. But do get the text messages from those at home wishing to see the front corner kills or the kill shots off the back wall.
I'd rather see the last rally. But
Watch this.
Here's the back
Watch
wall
this
kill.
laser. Bam.
That's a tremendous
20,
shot.
16.
Right down the railroad tracks. I don't know
Luis-
why I said that, but I did. Amazing get there from Luis Moreno. And Armando overhits the pass. And that's really a weakness in Armando's game, is that he won't take those steps back, Dave, and either wrap that ball around or take it back to the ceiling. He tries to take those shots out of the air with the ball
21,
dipping.
16.
And
Moreno
now it's
feels it.
Moreno at 21, and I think you know what happens when the first player gets to 21, Dave, and rally scoring.
Moreno feels this now. He's upset with himself because of that serve, but
He'd be much more upset if Mondo rolled that
22,
ball out.
16.
The fat lady is warming up her
One
vocals
serve.
right now, Dave.
that's just me in a wig.
Beautiful.
Perfect defensive
Retrieve.
shot right there from Moreno.
So frustrating as as an opponent when you've hit such a good shot and your opponent flips it into the back wall and puts you back into the backcourt. See a lot of amateur players try that shot, Dave, and hit themselves right in the face just about every time, actually.
It's a pretty good rally, Dave.
And looked like it could have been a bad bounce there.
Didn't matter. And Luis Moreno gets the point.
Good rally, excellent. 23-16.
Not a good serve from Luis. And a terrible return there from Mondo. And Luis with the power reverse straightens that shot out. And now it's Armando.
Match point, serve 16.
One losing rally from elimination. Has to be frustrating for Armando Davis.
Game, match, Luis Moreno.
Armando looked really good there, Dave, in the first game. The beginning of the second game could have been a combination of a number of things. I believe a combination of Luis Moreno stepping up his game, Armando losing a little bit of the great stuff that he brought early in this match and maybe tiring just a little bit. And that was all Luis needed, Dave, to advance to his semifinal against Nadi Alvarado Jr., the man he defeated in the finals at the Jake Plummer Hell of a Bash race stop number 1.
Luis Moreno wins the second game after losing the first one. Then he goes into the tiebreaker and defeats Armando Ortiz 25-17. That closes it out for the live broadcast here on a Friday, as we have more action coming up right, what seems to be right around the corner. Tomorrow at very early on, it looks like men's upper bracket semifinals of the men's big ball will take place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But before that, at 9 o'clock in the morning, the upper bracket round of 8, and then at 10 o'clock, the lower brackets will also be displayed in big ball doubles in the pro division. Armando Ortiz did not advance here. It's Nadi Alvarado versus Luis Moreno. And that'll take place at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in the race for 8 small ball. Then at 12 o'clock, it'll be Sean Lenning and David Chapman. At 1 o'clock, a very special clinic that you will be hosting with Fred Lewis, and we're also going to get a top 4 pro in the court, as well as the juniors are going to come out, as well as the news station here in Fresno to cover that event. Juniors and pros on the court at the same time. That'll be at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and we'll have that on the live webcast as well. We're going to say goodnight for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow morning, like we said, at 9 o'clock with the Big Ball Pro Doubles. We'll have more action then for you, and we appreciate the fact that you've tuned in for this live broadcast throughout the day. It's been a very long day of handball, Mr. Fink.
But a great day of handball.
Well, sure. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Chris Grad and Linda Manning, as well as Dave Fink. Yours truly, Dave Vincent. We'll be back tomorrow here at racefor8.com. Good night.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Zions, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning it. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, simple green. It's great for cleaning.